Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community in 7 questions with Emmy.
Hey guys, welcome back to 7 Questions with Emmy. My guest today is known as Fun, Cheap, or Free Queen. Jordan Page is a blogger, author, social media influencer, and mother of 8 kids. Jordan, thank you so much for talking with me today.
Yay, thanks for having me, Emmy. So
Are you
happy to be
ready
here.
to get started with the questions?
Let's do it.
Okay, question number 1. How did you become known as the Fun, Cheap, or Free Queen?
Kind of by accident, actually. I'm not very good with budgeting. I'm not very good at math. I'm not very good at numbers. But when I became a mom, I really had to figure it out pretty quickly. So I started just kind of making up my own rules for budgeting that felt a lot more fun than kind of the boring ways that I was being taught to budget online. And I started doing TV segments locally and nationally. And I don't even remember who gave me the nickname necessarily, but it just kind of started. So then my blog is called Fun, Cheap, or Free. And so then I think that's kind of where Fun, Cheap, or Free Queen came from. No one has given me a crown though, so I'm feeling a little left out. Someday I need an actual Fun, Cheap, or Free crown.
Well, if you get something in the mail someday, you know who it's from.
I would love that.
Question number 2. What was your inspiration on your blogs?
You know what? It's funny because I never went into becoming a blogger with this thought of like, oh, I'm going to teach all these people and change the world. I honestly just wanted to share with my friends. I really did. I just felt like when I was trying to figure out how to budget, I felt like nobody really liked to talk about money. It was kind of this secret topic. And I thought, well, why not? Why don't we talk about how much we pay for groceries or how much our car costs or how much we spend every month on date night? Like, why can't we talk about that? Or how much we pay for allowance for our kids? So I felt like, well, maybe I'll be the friend that people feel like they can come talk to about it. So it actually started, I had this little family blog and I used to just share stuff on my family blog, sharing it with my friends. And we eventually made that family blog private because my husband started a business and we wanted to keep a little more privacy. So then when I made a public blog, every time, even still today, over, gosh, 10, 12 years later, every time I sit down to write, I picture that I'm just writing to my friend down the street. And that's honestly where the inspiration came from and where it still comes from today. It's just sharing things that are working for me with my friends.
What is the best deal you've ever gotten on anything?
Oh my gosh, you know what? I should have brought them to show you. I got shoes from Nordstrom Rack for 20 cents. And they are the most beautiful. There's these sparkly high heels, kind of this subtle snake print. They're really pretty. So they were at Nordstrom Rack and they were, marked at whatever price. I can't remember. It's been many years, maybe $25, which for me, I was like, this feels like a splurge for some shoes that I would rarely wear, but they're so pretty. I love sparkly things. So they totally spoke my language. And I got up to the register and they rang up as like 20 cents or whatever, less than $1. And I thought it was a mistake, but they said, oh my gosh, it's your lucky day. Apparently, when items go from Nordstrom to Nordstrom Rack, and then when they don't sell at Nordstrom Rack, they move them one last time to a place called Last Chance. But in their system, they have to mark them down to like 10 cents or 20 cents before putting them on the truck and moving them. And they marked them down, but then accidentally put them back on the rack. So they let me buy them for 20 cents. These Nordstrom shoes that were probably $100 shoes at one point. And I still have them. It's been a decade. I still have them.
How do you manage everything while raising 8 kids?
Oh, I don't. That's honestly a very true answer is I feel like I've just learned. I have this kind of principle that, well, a lot of people, there's a principle that goes by different names, but I call it kind of the 80-20 rule. And picture like, I mean, if you had to clean your room and there were 10 things that you could do to clean your room, and one of them was like, well, I guess I could like wash my windows, or I could shine my door handle, or I could pick up my floor or make my bed, or, and you only had a few minutes to clean your room, you would probably choose the two things that make the most difference, right? You would probably just pick up your floor and maybe make your bed. You probably wouldn't like dust behind your TV, or you probably wouldn't like, organize your books on a shelf. And that's kind of how I live my life. Is if I have 10 things that I need to get done, I really try to always focus on the 2 things that will make the biggest difference. And then if you have more time, you can get to the other things, but a lot of times you just got to let the other stuff go. So in my house, it's like, if we're going to spend 10 minutes in speed clean, we're just kind of going to focus on the stuff that makes the biggest difference. Or if I'm trying to get everybody ready for bed, we're just really kind of going to focus on the 2 most important things and let the rest go. And it seems to work well for me.
What does it mean to be frugal to you? And what's the first thing you tell someone who wants to be more wise with their money?
Oh, that is a great question. I try to teach people that there's a big difference between frugal and cheap. Even though my blog has the word cheap in it, there's a difference. Cheap to me means you will only buy something that's a very, very low price, whether the quality is good or whether you need it or not. Or cheap can also mean that you aren't very generous with other people. Like maybe instead of tipping someone 20%, you only tip them 10% because you want to save money. Or maybe instead of buying someone a nice gift, you give them like a dollar store item, just to save money. So frugal is different. And frugal is what we want. Frugal is where you are very intentional, very wise, and very specific about how you spend your money. And guess what? You might buy something really expensive and still be frugal, but it means you saved up for it. You put it on your list. You didn't buy it right away. You waited a long time. You waited for it to go on sale. You did your research to make sure it's really what you wanted. And then once you buy it, you really take care of it. You make it last forever. You use it and you love it. And that to me is what we want. That is frugal, being wise with your money, not just doing whatever it takes to save a buck.
What are some future plans you have for your business?
Oh my gosh. So many things and so many exciting things. I actually have this really rebellious part of me that pretends I don't run a business, even though I do, because for me, the business part isn't super duper fun. What is fun is talking to my friends all day online and teaching them the things that I'm excited about. But in order to keep doing that and to do it at the scale that it is, I need to run a business and be smart about it. So lately, I've been getting some coaching and getting some advice to help merge the 2. And so over the next year, my audience is really going to see the business side of what I do become way more fun, and kind of just doing it my way. And saying, I know people tell me I'm supposed to run a business a certain way, but I don't like it that way. And I'm going to change it. So I'm going to do some things in my business that allow me to have more access and more time with my audience, which I'm excited about. And we're coming out with some new products that I designed specifically for my audience. And I did not design them as to whether they were like good business or not. But I think as a result of really putting my audience first and my friends, as I call them, my freebs, that I think it will help my business, but doing it my way.
Can you say what some of the feature items are and stuff?
Yes. And in fact, I wish I had some up here. Well, in just a few short weeks, I'm launching 4 new cookbooks. And they're so pretty. They're so fun. Emmy, they have gold on that. They're kind of shiny. I love them. I'm so excited. But they're different than a normal cookbook. And it's because each cookbook represents a different season of the whole year. And it tells you what to cook each week so that you only have to buy, a little bit of groceries and use them all up, rather than a cookbook where you're just like flipping and trying to find a recipe. It just basically plans your meals for you for the whole season. And I'm really excited about it.
My mom's behind the camera like, ooh.
Ooh, I know. It's so exciting. No one has ever done a series of cookbooks like this before. And do you want to know a secret?
Yeah.
I designed them really specifically so that right now we have volumes 1 through 4, and eventually we'll have volumes 1 through 8. And when you line them up on a shelf, the spines make like a really pretty gradient design where the colors start blue and then they like, so that if you have them on your shelf in your kitchen, it looks like a pretty decoration.
That's so cool. We're gonna have to buy some.
We'll get you some.
Can you share a piece of advice that might help me or our viewers?
So many pieces of advice, but the number one thing that I would say for you, and this is for you specifically, Emmy, and then whoever else wants to listen, is keep doing your content, your business, your passions your way. I feel like there's so much noise right now, so much noise online, so much noise everywhere telling people how they should look, how they should act, how they should feel, what's right, what's not. And I think if you can just, take everything into consideration, but really remain authentic to you and what's important to you, then it will come. Kind of the whole, if you build it, they will come. I really believe that. The times in my life where I've struggled, I realize it's because I got distracted trying to be something I wasn't. And if I think if everyone could just stay grounded and really keep sight of what's important to them and why, then everything just kind of ends up working out how it should.
Thank you so much for chatting with me today.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
Thanks so much for watching. Remember, new 7 questions and interviews are posted every Thursday. Be sure to follow me on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Love you guys. Bye! Idaho Falls Pediatrics, proudly supporting kids in our community, and 7 questions with Emmy.